Australians, I think I feel like they're more like risque with their lives, kind of.
Yeah, there is a lack of it's risk averse due to either the lack of fear or the extra amount of stupidity at times.
Yeah.
It kind of fluctuates.
It's a beautiful bravery though that they have, you know?
Yeah.
And even like when you travel, like one thing I remember from just traveling a lot was just seeing Australians everywhere.
Yeah.
They pop up in anything, you
Yeah.
know. Like you turn on a tap in another country, like, you know, you're pouring a beer and a couple of Australians just come out on surfboards, kind of a boogie boards.
As an Australian, that's always problematic. It's like you go to a country to get away from Australia and have a different cultural experience, and it's, oh, g'day, mate, shit. Yeah, I know you. And the next minute, you're all at the bar together doing what you did back home. So.
Yeah. Yeah, I could totally see that, man.
Yeah.
Where does that nature come from in Australians to go? Is that like because I mean, it's a serious thing that I think everyone would say is that you go anywhere and there's Australians there.
I think it's, we're quite isolated where we are, and for such we're a young country as far as the white settlement being there, in the last sort of 200 and so years. And there's been always a sense of adventure either across the country itself or just the need to get out and explore, because again, it's not like, if you're in Europe, you're jumping from France to Italy to London, and you can have, different cultural experiences within, a 2-hour train ride. For us, it's a big adventure, pack a backpack and you're on several flights and buses and trains and boats and whatever. And so there is an adventurous spirit, but I think all the guys I grew up with, it was like finish high school and go backpacking around the world.
So that's like a big thing where people are like, when they finish high school, it's like, I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to go experience something.
Yeah.
Is it almost taboo if you don't, in a way, that if you don't have like a...
No, I think it just comes from not having figured out what you want to do next, and I had probably 50-50 with my group of friends who knew what they were doing. They were going to, a couple of them went into a trade and a couple of them went to university, and then a couple of them were like, I got no idea, and maybe I'll find it in, Peru or wherever I'm going to go backpacking and cross paths with folks that might inspire something else in me. But yeah.
Did you do something like that? I know you grew up like partially in the Outback and partially in Melbourne, right?
Yeah. Grew up in Melbourne, then lived in Northern Territory in an Aboriginal community about 4 hours southeast of Katherine, and like in the middle of nowhere. And that was my earliest, most vivid memories. But that...
We're there in the bush, kind of?
Yeah, like there's an Aboriginal community, a bunch of Aboriginal communities in the region we lived in, and I mean all across Northern Territory. But where we were, the proximity, there were sort of 3 or 4 communities that my dad worked, ran like a cattle station, and then ran like a community centre. And I went up there when I was 5 or 6, and then came back to Melbourne, and then again when I was like 7, 8, 9. So a couple of different times. But as far as the backpacking thing, I started